Hello and welcome back to our reading of the book Native Americans. Today you're in for a special treat as we go over myths from the Pacific Northwest. We are going to talk about how these myths describe things in nature to the tribes of the Pacific Northwest. Today is a very short reading, not many myths, just one or two. And when we are done, do not forget to go onto Google Classroom and do the workbook page and hand it in. One hand in a day counts for a name in a bucket and a prize drawn at the end of the week. I hope you enjoyed Chapter 6, Myths from the Pacific Northwest. Raven steals the light. Raven is a very important character in the mythology of most Pacific Northwest tribes. He is featured in numerous stories, many of which are creation myths. Creation myths explain how the world began and how people and various animals came into the world. However, in this tale, Raven is not really a creator. He is actually a trickster, meaning that he makes things happen by tricking other characters. The following story explains how light was hidden and then restored. Many years ago, in a house on the banks of the Yakima River, there lived an old man and his grown daughter. You would not have known by looking at his little house, but the man was very rich. However, he was also very greedy. Every year, many salmon swam past his house. He always caught many more than he needed, and he chased away anyone who tried to catch them. "Go away," he yelled. "Those are my fish." "These are not your fish," the people told him. "The river gave them to us." But the old man ignored him. "You'll be sorry if you take my fish again," he warned. When he saw a woman gathering firewood in the forest near his house, the old man yelled, "That is my firewood! Go away and find your own." The woman held up the sticks and said, "You do not own this wood. The tree gave it to me." The old man only shook his fists and warned, "You'll be sorry if you take my firewood again." The old man was so greedy that he would not even share it with his own daughter. He would not let her take fish from the river. She was allowed to gather roots and berries to eat, but only if she walked far away enough from the house so she would not gather any of his foods. When he caught her eating blackberries from a bush near the house, he yelled, "Those are my berries! You'll be sorry you took them." "But the bush gave them to me," his daughter said in a meek, nervous voice. This made the old man very angry. He was tired of people stealing from him, but he knew how to stop them once and for all. People could not steal his things if they could not see him. However, he was so rich he could not hide all the things he owned, so he decided to hide the light instead. The old man took the sun and the moon and all the stars from the sky, and he put them in a box. He hid the box in his house and refused to tell anyone where it was. Then the whole world was dark. When people needed firewood, they had to crawl out into the darkness and search the ground with their hands until they found something that felt like wood. When they were hungry, they had to crawl into the rivers and feel around the water until a fish swam into their hands. Life without light was very hard, and soon the people were cold and hungry, and a sadness filled their hearts. But Raven heard about the greedy old man who stole the sun, the moon, and the stars, and he came up with a plan to steal them back. Raven followed the old man's daughter when she went out searching for food. She searched in the darkness and found a blackberry bush. The thorns pricked her fingers as she searched for berries. Clever Raven turned himself into a blackberry and she picked him and ate him. Then Raven was in her belly and he became her child. Months later, Raven was born. The old man did not like having a baby in the house. To make matters worse, Raven grew very quickly, and soon he was a curious, energetic boy. He asked questions about everything, and he always wanted the old man to tell him stories, sing songs, and play games. The old man did not like to do any of these things, but Raven asked him every day anyway. "Grandfather, I am bored," Raven said. "Will you play a game with me?" "No." "Will you tell me a story?" "No." "Then what can I do? I am bored." The old man fumbled around in the dark trying to find something for Raven to play with. Raven refused everything he offered. "I already played with that. That is boring," Raven said. "If only I could see, then maybe I could find something to do, but it's too dark." Then the old man had an idea. He went to a secret hiding place and pulled out the box. He gave the box to Raven and said, "Here, play with this. This will keep you busy for a while. Just don't show anybody else. Now, leave me alone." Raven opened the box and the light of the sun and the moon shone on his face. Then the old man could see that he had been tricked. Grasping the box in his talons, Raven flapped his wings and flew out of the house. He flew and flew way up high into the sky, and there he emptied the box, and the sun and the moon and the stars all returned to their place, and the light was restored. Very interesting story. Our next one is Thunderbird and Killer Whale. Thunderbird is a mythical creature common in most Pacific Northwest cultures. It is also a common theme on totem poles or ceremonial costumes. In most stories, Thunderbird was a kind and powerful creature who often helped people. The story of Thunderbird and Killer Whale appears in many tribal mythologies. Like many myths, this one was used to explain certain aspects of nature or important events. There are two natural events or phenomena explained in the story. Can you tell what they are? One day, Killer Whale arrived in the waters and attacked all the other fish. Killer Whale was hungry, and he ate many fish. The fish he did not eat were so scared they swam away to other waters. Then, the people could not find any fish for themselves, and they began to starve. Thunderbird was a big, mighty bird. His bright, colorful feathers were as long as canoe paddles, and his talons were like harpoons. When he flapped his great wings, the sound of thunder rumbled through the skies. One day, Thunderbird was flying along the coast. He looked down and saw that the people were starving. This made Thunderbird sad because he loved the people and did not want to see them suffer. He asked them why they did not have any fish, and the people told him about Killer Whale. This made Thunderbird very angry. Thunderbird found Killer Whale and swooped down out of the sky. Thunderbird grabbed Killer Whale with his talons and tried to carry him away, but Killer Whale put up a fight. He wrestled free from Thunderbird's grasps and fell into the ocean with a great splash. The splash was so big that it shook all the waters and even the land. The waters rose up and covered the land. Trees were ripped from soil, houses were shattered, and many people died before the ocean waters receded. Thunderbird and Killer Whale fought for many days. At last, Killer Whale knew he could not win and he swam away. Gradually, the fish returned and the people had food again. Ever since, the people had not forgotten how Thunderbird helped them. According to the story, Thunderbird's wings caused the sound of thunder. This is common in most Thunderbird myths, but this story seemed to explain something else. Many researchers believe this is a story about a tsunami or tidal wave that struck the Pacific Northwest hundreds of years ago. Tsunamis are caused by earthquakes in the Earth's crust deep beneath the ocean surface. The vibrations from the earthquake create waves, and if the earthquake is strong enough, these waves can form a tsunami. Tsunamis are very destructive when they strike land. It is no surprise that the survivors would mark the event with a myth like this. So, a very short reading today with our two myths about different things that happen in nature. Do not forget to go onto Google Classroom in the classwork tab, pick the activity page for chapter 6, and you're going to go ahead and work on that one for today. And remember, every day you hand something in, you get your name in a drawing. It needs to be done by 8 p.m. so I can read it, I can give some feedback, and I can send it back to you if needed. Thank you, or not me, your teacher. Thank you so much, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.